we really do not want to know who has donated whom what amount. Let the confidentiality remain complete except under the court order. I do believe that donations made online through checks remain an ideal method of donating to political parties. However, these have become a very popular, but this has not become very popular in India since they involve disclosure of donors' identity. However, the electoral bond scheme, which I placed before the parliament a few days ago, envisages total clean money and substantial transparency coming into the system of political funding. A donor can purchase electoral bonds from a specified bank only by a banking instrument. He would have to disclose in his account the amount of political bond that he has purchased. The life of the bond would be only 15 days. A bond can only be encashed in a pre-declared account of a political party. Every political party in its returns will have to disclose the amount of donation it has received through electoral bonds to the Election Commission. The entire transaction would be through banking instruments, as against a total non-transparency in the present system of cash donations, where the donor, the donee, the quantum of donation, and the nature of expenditure are all undisclosed. Some element of transparency would be introduced in as much as donors declare in their accounts the amount of bonds that they have purchased, and all parties declare. But it is very careful, some element of transparency. How? Because we have to begin.
Mehta, in fact, I was just going through some paper. There was a very interesting discussion why the trust scheme came into force, how the trusts, in fact, in 1996, one big group, corporate group, with over 100 companies has set up a trust.
Correct.
And
Tata,
most,
let us, yes.
I didn't want to take it. So and the money from all those trust companies or the group companies will come in the trust, and then they will distribute and give it to different parties. The idea behind the trust was that the trust may be of 5 or more than 5, the money will come into the trust will then distribute the money, so nobody knows. The companies will give instructions to the trust to give to A, B or C party, but nobody knows which company has given that money. But what happened was 2013 scheme of the Election Commission made it mandatory to disclose which company is directed to give the payment. So that scheme virtually failed because of that. It had a contrary impact.
Yes, but still, as a matter of
that's somebody's point of view. I'm not saying that's a right point of view or wrong point of view.
no, correct, but as a matter of fact, the trust scheme still continues. One can have trust, and the same system can be adopted. Few companies can gather together and create a trust. Trust is a misnomer. It's a Section 25 company. Nothing turns on that, but it is nomenclature is trust. But one fact, my lord, inadvertently, my lord, we admit that the moment the question of disclosure of the donor comes, the scheme fails. As, my lord, it failed in trust. Because that is the disincentive, my lord. The incentivizing factor for the purpose of paying by cash is, my lord, secrecy, the confidentiality. Secrecy and anonymity is a negative connotation. I am using the expression confidentiality. May not be a foolproof process. Some element of transparency would be introduced in as much as all donors declare in their account the amount of bonds that they have purchased, and all parties declare the quantum of bonds. How much each donor has distributed to a political party would be known only to the donor. This is necessary because once this disclosure is made, past experience has shown donors would not find the scheme attractive and would go back to less desirable option of donating by cash. Look, this is confidentiality is not ensured. People go to the earlier regime. In fact, the choice has now to be consciously made between the existing system of substantial cash donations, which involves total unclean money and is non-transparent, and the new scheme which gives the option to the donors to donate through entirely a transparent method of check, online transaction, or through electoral bonds. But it is, if I want to disclose my identity, I can pay by check. It's not taken away. I don't have to go through this, my lord, electoral bond scheme. I can still pay by RTGS, direct banking transfer, or through check. But then my identity would be disclosed. If I wish that to remain confidential, then electoral bond. My lord, I have, my lord, very seriously, and I am bound to, considered, my lord, the concerns which your lordships have shown as custodian of fundamental rights of the citizens. And my lord, the government is proud about it, that your lordships are concerned. And my lord, I have some solutions, my lord, to offer, so that that concern also can be addressed. And your lordships would find the bona fides of the government that we really do not want to know who has donated whom what amount. Let the confidentiality remain complete, except under the court order. I'll say, my lord, as and when, my lord, that the part of the scheme comes.
But that, the moment an electoral bond is tendered to a political party by a constituent,
The party would know.
the party knows it.
Correct, my lords. What the donor doesn't want is the other party should not know. Every party knows who their respective donors are.
Yes.
Yeah, my lord, the confidentiality is from other party, my lord. I'm sorry, my lord, I am unable to convey the heart of the matter. My lord, if I donate to Congress, the Congress knows Tushar Mehta has donated.
Right. But you don't,
My worry
you
is
don't want another party to know.
BJP should not know so that I don't get victimized. That's the purpose of confidentiality. My lord, technically, I can say, my lord, Mr. Bhushan has given this example that even ruling party can, any party, my lord, why ruling party, any party can feign ignorance. That somebody came and in my Dropbox not in the digital sense, in the ballot box, in the postal box, there was an envelope. An envelope contained 100 crores. Nobody donates like this. We give money like this only in pilgrimages.
Because of these amendments, the volume of cash which is coming to political parties, which he says are maybe black money or is likely to be black money, that has gone down.
No, that's not his argument. He doesn't make a quantitative statement. His contention is that this was an effort which was made to bring into the accountable channels what was otherwise completely beyond the fold of accountability because the earlier schemes had not worked.
So let me just deal with that. Firstly, my lord, it did not close the cash channel. The amendment has left open the cash channels. The only change that has been made is that for getting income tax exemption, that 20,000 has been brought down to 2,000. That's all. Otherwise, cash donations up to 20,000 can be given to political parties and they are not required to be reported. Quite apart from the fact that actually 20,000 or 2,000 does not make any practical difference because all that the political party declares is, I have received X crores as cash donations, which are below 20,000. They used to say below 20,000 earlier. Now, if they want to avail of income tax exemption, they say it's below 2,000. So they say that we have received whatever, 100 crores, 500 crores by way of petty cash donations, that it defeats a constitutional right of citizens to know who is funding these political parties. That's a fundamental right which your lordship has recognized under 19(1)(a). And if what is being argued that the object of this bringing in electoral bonds was to reduce cash and reduce black money, so to say, and bring in only accounted money through banking channels to political parties, if that's the argument, then I'm just pointing out that that's not entirely correct for the reason. Firstly, you can still give cash. There is no bar today which has been placed on cash. The only change that has been made is simultaneously.
How do you put a bar on cash?
But-
It's a third economy. Much as you may impose a bar on cash,
If you,
it's illegal.
if
It's
you-
illegal,
if you
but you
want-
have a third economy.
That's the point, my lord, that it could easily have been done that all receipts of political parties, at least of political parties, will have to be accounted, whether it is cash or not,